I have 7 poems, and they kind of go in some sort of order. This one is called not this one. The first one's called Your Hallows Eve, and it was inspired by a quote by Amani Alber, which says, "When people allow you to know about their pain and talk about it, take off your shoes, it's a holy place. Be humble, be kind when someone shows you vulnerability." I take off my shoes, I lower my eyes, entering into something hallowed, holy filled with reverence. I light some candles, burn some incense, enter your sacred space, ready to receive. I prostrate before you, opening my hands and my heart to your intonations. Your lyrical voice, chronicling tales untold, a melody distinctively played and a thread memorably woven. I am honored to receive. Your pain is to be respected, vulnerability revered. The sacred space of friendship protected, as some might protect a god. Now this one's weeping. She is beautiful, swaying in the gentle morning breeze, rain hitting her branches. They gave her a forlorn name, standing alone, lamenting. I walk amongst the raindrops akin to her name, weeping along with the drizzle. Not a despondent cry, a steadiness comes from her trunk, her core. Years of weathering, lightning and thunder and etched names bleeding. Her bark has grown back stronger, more resilient skin. Branches turning upward, reaching for the sky, growing and stretching, roots extending downward, grounding, finding strength in the depth unseen. Many before her would have been uprooted, transplanted, fallen, and simply died. Her stability is not a given. She searched for the elusive drops of water, finally finding an aquifer at impressive depths. Only because she sunk deep within, beneath her, trusted she could find it through a seemingly impermeable desert. Our tears are not ones to be sympathized. Our tears are ones of perseverance, a quiet strength that is deep within. This is liminality, but I need some help. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Back in time. Teleportation. Back in time. I wish I could pause time, suspend the movements, suspend particles, suspend physics, and suspend reality. Suspend those moments. The time of year when the excitement of warmer weather has you wearing shorts much too soon. The frost still nipping at your heels. The moment when you wake up, still drowsy, not yet awake, yet no longer asleep. The other time of year, the mornings have a chill, but the afternoons warm your skin. Autumn is approaching, summer hasn't yet concluded. Living in this space, delving into the movement, extending those moments. Pouring a cup of tea, allowing the mug to warm your hands, breathing in the smell. Honey? Cinnamon? Your choice. Steam washing over your face, you evaporate with the tiny droplets, if only for a moment, before slowly solidifying back to your form and back to the world. The moment, this space between all of it, this precious, exquisite space, standing on the threshold of what no longer is, of what hasn't yet become. A surrealist dream, confinement's antithesis, balancing the precipice, succumbing to the liminal space. For background on this one was written at the very end of summer, and it's called The First Day of Fall. Today is not the first day of fall, but it feels like it could be. A cool crisp in the air, wearing too few clothes for the weather, thinking you'd wake up warm. Cooler body, eyes seductive, nipples pointing, desire warming. Inching closer towards you, back arching, living in the in-between. Not awake, not asleep. Enchanting, dreaming, wanting. Kissing your face awake, you grab my wiggling hips, run your hands up and down. Drowsily at first, thirst quickening. Steeping as a cup of tea, slowly gaining flavor, tasting the sweet nectar, adding in some honey, stirring, savoring. The teapot cries out, your milk combines with mine, mixing like a galaxy, feeling like ecstasy, collapsing into the infinite, two souls dancing. I love you. I don't say this to elicit a response. I feel this deep within my being. Words to be said because they are true, and truth should be lived and spoken. I mention without strings attached. I love you for you and how you choose to be, how you show up with me, what you bring out in me. I love you. It's a fact of a feeling where it's meant to be said and felt and moved through. That is all, but that is enough. Naked. I grab a pristine scalpel to begin the autopsy. My own autopsy where I am completely conscious. I make the first incision, starting from my chest directly toward my gut, hands deliberate and unwavering. The blade pierces through my skin. A viscous drop escapes the surgically precise line. As streams of blood trail and trickle, I feel every tug, every slice, every excruciatingly searing moment. I shriek out in both terror and euphoria from this release. I strip myself of the skin I was given. It stretches and pulls as I completely disrobe. Undressed I began, naked I've become. Dissecting, exposing my ribs, the cage which contains my heart. My ribs bend and creak until their breaking point. With every crack, my soul tastes another droplet of freedom. The final snap of the sternum floods me with liberation. An animalistic scream, and my imprisoned heart is finally free. But I have just begun. What should remain and what can be purged? Each organ of mine is removed and analyzed. Is it healthy? Is it harmful? Does any part need to be disposed? But why stop at the organs? Each system, each bone, each muscle, each nerve. What needs to adapt? What can remain? Which parts should be eliminated? Those parts are severed, separated, discarded, left to die. But finally, those parts that will remain, how can they be reconnected? Grabbing a needle and thread, meticulous movements, methodical sutures, deliberately sewing myself back together, piece by piece, stitch by stitch, a loving and beautiful reconstruction, choosing how I am remade, as I desire to be. That's why I wore it.
I mean, I guess this goes with that, so.
Last one, it's called Phoenix. Amidst the dark, early in the morning, into this world she is born. A fire burning from within, screaming with thunder, lightning etched into her eyes. She is burning while she is becoming. The spark of her soul awakens, a beating heart within the fires. Her entrance itself is a rebirth, moving from one world to the next. Ashes of her former life now sprouting and blooming. She grows and transforms, wings ever beautiful, marked with light and color. She is splendor embodied, soaring into the infinite. Until the day, instead of ascending, she points her beak downward, accelerating and bursting into flames. Her ashes gather in a nest, smoldering embers becoming seeds, sparking, igniting the soul, flames intensifying. The spirit has solidified once again, continually dying, born to be reborn, taking a lifetime to perfect, to become who she always was. She is rising. Thank you. I have a QR code for where I post my poems if you like them. I'll put them up here.
All right, that was great. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
The first move.
All right. Up next is Antoine.